The crack of my knee shattering against the turf echoed louder than the crowd's roar, a sound that splintered through my body like glass under a boot. I hit the ground hard, the world tilting sideways in a haze of floodlights and screaming teammates. My leg twisted at an angle that didn't belong to any human frame. Jace! Oh God, Jace, stay with me. Coach's voice cut through the pain, but all I could think was that this was it. The end of the dream I'd clawed for since I was a kid lacing up cleats in our cracked driveway. I woke up in the ER 3 days later, the sterile beep of monitors my only company, staring at the 4 drip like it held the answers to why my right leg felt like a lead weight chained to my soul. Mom and Dad hadn't come yet. They were handling things at home, the nurse said with that pitying smile that made my stomach churn. When they finally showed, it wasn't with promises of MRIs or specialists. It was with a glossy photo on Dad's phone of a fluffy golden retriever puppy, all wide eyes and wagging tail, captioned, "Surprise for Lily's birthday, my sister's sweet 16 gift," wrapped up neat while my ACL dangled in tatters, begging for a surgeon's knife. That moment carved a hollow right through me, deeper than the tear in my ligament. I'd spent years being the golden boy, the quarterback who threw touchdowns under Friday night lights in our sleepy Ohio suburb, the son who mowed lawns for extra cash to fund his college scouts, the kid who hid his crushes on the tight end in the locker room showers because love like that didn't fit in a town where picket fences guarded secrets. But now I was just broken goods, invisible except when it served their narrative of the perfect family. "We'll figure out the knee thing, champ," Dad muttered, patting my shoulder like I was the dog in the picture. Mom fussed over the flowers she'd brought, pink carnations for cheering up, and chattered about how Lily would name the pup Champ after me. I wanted to scream that the real Champ was rotting in this bed, but the words stuck, heavy as the morphine haze. We drove home from the hospital in silence, the Ohio autumn leaves swirling like confetti from a party I wasn't invited to. Our house on Maple Street squatted in the middle of Elmwood Heights, a 2-story colonial with vinyl siding peeling at the edges and a basketball hoop bolted crooked over the garage. My hoop, dented from too many half-court shots dreamed up during algebra. Lily was waiting on the porch, 14 and all gangly limbs and braces, her face lighting up as the puppy yipped from its crate in the back seat. "Jace, look at him. He's perfect." She scooped the fur ball into her arms, cooing as it licked her chin, while I hobbled on crutches, my knee braced like a prison sentence. Dinner that night was meatloaf and mashed potatoes, the kind Mom made when she wanted to pretend everything was fine. Dad carved the slab with surgical precision, joking about how the dog's operation to get neutered would cost less than my knee fix. Laughter rippled around the table. Lily's giggles high and bubbly, Mom's forced chuckle like cracking ice. But I sat there, fork scraping porcelain, the ache in my leg pulsing in time with the one in my chest. "I need the surgery, Dad," I said finally, voice steady as I could make it. "The doc said if I wait, I might never play again. Scouting season's in 3 months. He paused, knife hovering, then shrugged. "Insurance is tricky, son. We've got Lily's braces coming up, and the roof needs patching. It'll have to wait." Wait, that word hung in the air like smoke from a backfired engine, choking me. I'd begged, on the field, in the hospital, over the phone during those endless nights of physical therapy previews on YouTube. Videos of guys like me, slicing through defenders post-op, their grins wide as goalposts. But here we were, the family budget bending for a dog's wagging tail while my future limped on ice packs and denial. Lily shot me a sympathetic glance, whispering later in the hallway, "Maybe if you ask again tomorrow?" But her eyes darted to the pup curled at her feet, and I knew, deep down guilty as sin, that even she got it now. I was the spare part in this machine. Nights blurred after that. I'd lie in my room, posters of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers staring down like ghosts of what I'd lost. The glow from my phone screen the only light as I scrolled through college forums. Delaying ACL recon? Career suicide? One thread screamed. My leg throbbed under the brace, a constant reminder that time wasn't on my side. School was a gauntlet on crutches. Elmwood High's hallways a labyrinth of lockers slamming like judgment days, cheerleaders parting like the Red Sea as I swung past. Teammates clapped my back with, "You'll be back, Jay." But their eyes lingered on the JV kid who'd stepped up as QB2, already wearing my number like a hand-me-down jersey. That's when Leonardo showed up. Not with fanfare or pity. No, he crashed into my world like a rogue wave on Lake Erie. All sharp edges and quiet storms. It was second-period English, Miss Hargrove droning about the Great Gatsby and dreams deferred, when the classroom door swung open. There he stood, transfer from Chicago, leather jacket slung over one shoulder, dark curls falling into eyes the color of polished obsidian. "Leonardo Reyes," he said, voice low and accented with that Windy City grit, handing over his schedule like it was a dare. Miss Hargrove pointed to the empty seat beside me, the one I'd claimed as a crutch buffer, and he dropped into it without a word, his knee brushing mine under the desk. Electricity. Not the static kind, but the live-wire spark that made my pulse stutter. He didn't ask about the crutches or the sling I'd fashioned from an old team towel for my elbow twinge. Instead, he slid a doodle across. Gatsby in cleats, drowning in a sea of green footballs, and smirked when I snorted. "You get it?" he murmured. Close enough I caught the faint scent of rain and sandalwood. Lunch found us at the bleacher's far end, away from the cafeteria roar. Leo, he'd insisted on that, like it was a secret handshake. Unpacked a thermos of pozole his abuela shipped from Pilsen, steam rising like offerings. "Football guy, huh? Saw the limp. What? Tackle a linebacker with your face." His tease was light, but his gaze held, searching, like he saw the fractures I hid under bravado. I spilled it all over those spicy bites. The hit, the hospital, the puppy verdict. Words tumbled out, unfiltered, the way they hadn't since the injury. Leo listened, chin propped on his fist, not interrupting with platitudes. When I finished, he leaned back, exhaling slow. "Parents, man. Mine shipped me here after Dad's. Complications. Said fresh start beats family drama. But fresh starts? They're just old wounds with better lighting." His voice cracked on complications. Later I'd learn it meant his old man's gambling debts, the kind that left bruises and eviction notices. That shared ache bonded us. Invisible thread pulling tighter with each shared smoke break behind the gym, me on the fringes. Him puffing menthols like therapy. Weeks bled into a rhythm. PT sessions where I'd grit through quad sets. Leo timing me with his phone, cheering like a one-man pep squad. "Push quarterback. That knee's gotta throw bullets again." Study hall became our confessional. Him sketching murals of Chicago skylines on my notebook margins. Me confessing the crushes I'd buried. The way locker room glances lingered too long on broad shoulders and easy laughs. One afternoon, rain lashing the windows, I let it slip. "I like guys, Leo. Not the rah-rah bro kind. The real kind." He stilled, pencil hovering, then grinned. Slow, sun-breaking clouds. "Good, 'cause Chicago winters are cold. But this one's got heat." His hand found mine under the desk, thumb tracing knuckles, and the world narrowed to that touch, fragile as hope. But Elmwood wasn't Chicago. Whispers started, teammates side-eyeing our bleacher huddles. Lily's friends giggling at the new goth kid, trailing me home. Dad cornered me one night, post-dinner, his breath sour with cores. "That Reyes boy trouble? You hanging with him too much, son. Focus on healing, not distractions." The word dripped disdain, and I saw it then. The fear in his eyes, not for my knee, but for what I might become. Mom hovered in the doorway, wringing her apron, murmuring about family values and church potlucks. Lily, bless her, defended us in whispers. "Leo's cool. Dad, he helps Jace with homework." But the pup at her feet yipped, stealing the spotlight again. The betrayal hit like a blindside blitz. It was homecoming week, the air electric with bonfires and brass bands. When I finally cornered Dad in his lazy boy, Super Bowl reruns flickering blue on the TV. The surgeon's quote came, $8K out of pocket. "I need it, Dad. Please." He rubbed his temples, sighing like I was asking for the moon. "Jace, we've crunched numbers. Lily's got that science fair trip to DC $2K, and the dog's vet bills already ate into savings. Can't swing it now. Vet bills. For a dog that chewed slippers and slept on my side of the couch. I stormed out, crutches clattering, straight to Leo's aunt's duplex on the edge of town, where he lived in the basement, walls papered with banned posters and eviction ghosts. He pulled me inside, no questions, just a blanket fort from couch cushions and his old Nintendo for Mario Kart distractions. "Screw him," he growled, controller gripped white-knuckled as he lapped me on Rainbow Road. "We'll fundraise. Car wash, bake sale, Chicago style, with tamales." His fire ignited mine. We plotted like generals, him sketching flyers with dramatic fonts, me sweet-talking coach for team buy-in. Hope flickered, real, tangible, like the first unbraced steps I took in PT, Leo spotting me with hands hovering gentle. But cracks spiderwebbed. Practice resumed light duty for me. Cone drills from the sideline and jealousy brewed. QB2, Tyler, the golden retriever of backups. Shot barbs. "Heard your boyfriend's turning you soft, Jay. No wonder you're benched." The locker room tension thickened, laughs turning sharp. Then, the gut punch. Lily's birthday party, backyard strung with lights. The pup now a loping adolescent terrorizing balloons. I arrived late, Leo in tow, his jacket slung casual over my shoulders against the chill. Dad's face soured. He pulled me aside, voice low thunder. "Not here, Jace. Not in front of family." Leo overheard, chin lifting defiant. But I waved him off. Cowardice. I see now the first fracture. It escalated that night, the party a powder keg of potato salad and passive aggression. Lily unwrapped her Hall new iPod, stack of YA novels, the dog prancing with a bow like a clown, while aunts cooed and uncles grilled brats, the smoke veiling their stares at Leo, who hung back by the fence, nursing a Coke. I tried bridging worlds, introducing him as my best friend from class. But the word tasted like ash. When the cake came out, chocolate fudge, 16 candles flickering like accusations. Dad raised his glass. To Lily, our shining star, and to Jace, toughing it out for the team. Cheers rang hollow. No mention of surgery, just a nod to my resilience, as if pain was a badge, not a plea. Leo slipped away early, text buzzing my pocket. Aunts calling. Rain check on stargazing? I nodded through hugs, the ache in my knee paling to the one splintering my ribs. Later, alone in the yard, I kicked at the grass, the pup bounding over to drop a slobbery tennis ball at my feet. "Fetch it yourself," I muttered, but guilt twisted. Innocent mutt, collateral in this war. Lily found me there, cake frosting smeared on her cheek. "Dad's just stressed, Jace. The mill laid off half the line." He didn't mean. Her voice trailed, eyes on the dog. "Champ misses you playing catch." I forced a smile, ruffling her hair. "Tell him I'll be back soon." Lies we both swallowed. School Monday was a minefield. Tyler cornered me by the vending machine, Snickers bar twisted in his fist like a threat. "Saw you two at the party. Reyes? Really? Coach hears that scholarship's toast." His grin was all teeth, the kind sharks flash before the chum. I shoved past, crutches snagging tile, but the seed burrowed, fear, cold and coiling. Leo waited at our bleacher spot, sketching a comic of us as superheroes. Quarterback Q and sketch boy, dodging villainous parents. "Ignore the noise," he said, but his eyes held shadows, the Chicago edge sharpening. That night, we drove to the quarry's edge. His aunt's borrowed Chevy rattling over gravel, radio crooning Springsteen about Born to Run dreams. We talked futures. Me at Ohio State, him at Art Institute, city lights calling like sirens. His hand on the gearshift brushed mine, and I leaned in, heart hammering. Our first kiss was tentative, salt from pretzels and the faint mint of his gum. Then urgent, like we'd both been holding breath underwater. The quarry stretched black below, stars pricking the sky like promises. "You're my escape, Leo," I whispered against his neck, his curls tickling my forehead. "The one thing that doesn't hurt." He pulled back, eyes fierce. "Then fight for it, Jace. All of it." His words lit a fuse. I vowed surgery or bust, dialing the doc's office at dawn for payment plans, scraping savings from odd jobs. Mowing with one leg, tutoring algebra via Zoom. Fundraiser kicked off Friday. Car wash in the church lot. Team in soapy suds. Leo's tamales steaming from a crock pot his aunt blessed with extra pork. Lines snaked. Moms in minivans, dads haggling for buffs. And for a day it felt possible. For $100 by noon. Coach slapping my back. Proud of you, kid. This knee gets fixed, you're starting. But Tyler lurked, whispering to scouts via his daddy's connections. Planting doubts. Jace is distracted. Off his game. Leo caught wind. Confronting him by the hoses. Water flying, voices rising. Back off, pretty boy. Jealousy's ugly. Tyler laughed, cold. Jealous? Of a fag and his sidekick? Wait till everyone knows. The leak sprang that weekend. Anonymous email to the team list. Blurry photo from the party. Leo's arm around my waist. Captioned QB's new playbook. Phones buzzed in a frenzy. Mine lit up with texts. Teammates emojis turning thumbs down. Coaches curt, we need to talk. I confronted Tyler in the parking lot. Rain sheeting down. My brace slipping on wet asphalt. You did this. He shrugged. Umbrella popping like a shield. Truth hurts, Jay. Can't hide forever in this town. Betrayal burned. Hotter than the injury's initial snap. Not just exposure, but the knife twist of a brother in arms turning Judas. Leo found me at the quarry again, soaked and shivering, his jacket enveloping me like armor. We face it together, he said, but his voice trembled, the artist in him sketching escape routes in the mud. We drove to his basement, walls closing in with the weight of it all. There, under the hum of a lava lamp, we mapped survival. Coming out to coach, ignoring the slurs spray-painted on my locker, Fairy QB. Channeling rage into PT reps that left me vomiting but stronger. Love deepened in those stolen hours. Notes slipped in books, mixtapes of the Killers and Hosier. His sketches of us intertwined like vines. You're my anchor, Jace. He confessed one night, fingers tracing my knee scar. Wounds and all. Family front crumbled parallel. Dad's denial hardened. Dinner skipped, his chair empty for overtime shifts. Mom baked pies that went stale, her hugs fleeting. Lily, though my fierce little sis, slipped me 20s from her allowance, whispering, for the surgery fund, don't tell. The dog, Champ, became her proxy, curling at my feet during movie nights, his warmth a silent apology. But the chasm widened. Dad's church buddies murmured about influences, eyeing Leo like a storm cloud. Climax brewed at the sectional playoffs. Knee half-mended, braced, taped, a gamble. I suited up as backup, scouts in the stands like vultures. Halftime down 14. Coach pulled me. Need a spark, son. You in. Adrenaline surged, drowning doubt. I nodded, trotting out to thunderous cheers laced with jeers. Fag forward. From the bleachers. The snap came crisp. I dropped back, eyes locking on my receiver through the blur. Tyler blitzed, but I spun, knee screaming fire, and lofted the ball a rainbow arc into the end zone. Touchdown. Crowd erupted. Scouts scribbled furious. For a heartbeat, I was whole. But Tyler's revenge lingered. Post-game, in the haze of Gatorade showers, he cornered Leo in the hall, fists flying. A cheap shot to the jaw. Stay away from him. Blood bloomed on Leo's lip, my roar echoing as I charged in. Crutches abandoned. Tackling Tyler to the tile. Chaos. Refs pulling us apart. Coach bellowing. Dad storming the field with murder in his eyes. Not at Tyler, but me. What the hell, Jace? Fighting over. This. The word unsaid hung him. Leo, spitting red, met my gaze, defiant, unbroken. The fallout was biblical. Suspended from the team, scouts ghosting emails, Dad's ultimatum over kitchen table coffee. Choose, family or that boy's poison. Mom wept into dish rags. Lily clutched Champ, tears streaking fur. I packed a duffel that night, heart leaden, slipping out to Leo's Chevy idling curbside. Road trip? He asked, grin crooked through the split lip. We fled to Chicago, his aunt's pozole waiting like forgiveness. The skyline a jagged promise. Months unspooled in Pilsen. me waitressing at a taqueria. Knee rehabbed on the cheap via free clinics. Leo's art classes blooming into murals on alley walls. Letters from home. Mom's please. Lily's doodles of us with the dog. Dad's silence cracking into a grudging, get home when you're ready. Betrayal's scar faded, not gone. Tyler's texts stopped. Rumors dying in Elmwood's indifferent churn. Love with Leo grew roots. Lazy Sundays sketching futures. Nights debating queer icons over bootleg DVDs of Brokeback. Not tragedy, but triumph in the telling. Surgery came via a GoFundMe miracle. Teammates' anonymous donations, coach's endorsement. Even Tyler's mom slipping in a check with sorry doesn't fix, but it's a start. Post-op, first steps unaided. Leo there, hand in mine, whispering, see? Unbreakable. Back in Ohio for summer, Dad met us at the diner, eyes downcast over pancakes. I was wrong, son. About the knee. About you. No grand gestures, just a quiet offer. Half the dog fund rerouted. A referral to his union doc. Human, messy forgiveness. The kind America peddles in Hallmark cards but lives in diner booths. We ended not in fireworks, but embers. Me suiting up for community college ball. Leo's portfolio landing a gallery spot. Lily visiting with Champ's leash in hand. The four of us hiking the quarry trails. Betrayal taught resilience. Neglect, the worth of chosen family. Love, that's the stitch holding the fractures. Deep, unspoken. As American as apple pie and underdog anthems. In the end, we didn't just heal, we rebuilt one tender step at a time. The email's poison spread faster than flu season. Inbox pings like gunshots in the night. By morning, my locker was a gallery of sharpest sins. Cock jockey, team traitor. And the hallways parted not in respect but revulsion. Whispers trailing like exhaust. Coach called me in pre-bell. Door shut against the bustle. His mustache twitching like a barometer of disappointment. Jace, this noise is distracting the boys. Sit out practice till it blows over. His eyes, usually steel, softened a fraction. I don't give a damn who you love, son, but football's a business. Scouts smell scandal, you're benched for good. I nodded numb, crutches echoing as I limped to the AV closet. My new bunker, stacked with various rewinds of Lombardi tapes and dusty projectors. There, in the flicker of old reels, I dissected plays, narrating voiceovers to empty chairs. See the read? Fake left, hit right, pure poetry. It was therapy, stitching my shattered ego with X's and O's. Leo found me at lunch, slipping through the door with a contraband burrito, steam fogging his glasses. Exile looks good on you, he quipped, settling cross-legged on the carpet. His sketchpad blooming with caricatures of Tyler as a snarling golem clutching my QB like a ring. We talked for hours, the bell a distant hum. He opened up about Chicago scars. The night Dad pawned his first guitar for blackjack chips. Mom's rosary beads clicking like accusations as she prayed for miracles that never came. Love's the only bet that pays, Jace. Risky as hell, but the jackpot's worth the bankrupt soul. His vulnerability cracked me. I admitted the football facade, how the huddle hid my heart's true plays. Stolen glances at teammates, the ache of prom dates with girls whose laughs rang false. You're the first real call, Leo. No interference. He leaned in, forehead to mine, breath mingling warm. Then let's audible. Skip the script. Improvise our ending. Those AV afternoons wove us tighter. Emotional tapestries of mixtapes dubbed from his Walkman, The Smiths, How Soon Is Now. For my isolation blues, me teaching him football lingo over instant ramen. Blitz? That's your aunt's family reunions. Romance simmered gentle. A hand on the small of my back guiding through crowds, notes in my books. To the boy who throws heart first, his art capturing my unbraced smile, knee extended tentative like a flower's bloom. Home was a tighter wire. Dad's shifts stretched to doubles. His lazy boy throne sagging under unspoken rages. Dinners devolved to silent fork scraping. Mom's meatloaf congealing untouched. One night, the dam broke. He slammed his palm, fork flying. This Jace business, It's killing us. Church folk talk. Lost a promotion 'cause of family issues. Mom's gasp was a whisper. She reached for him, voice trembling. It's not just Jace, Tom. Remember Sarah? College, that summer in Ann Arbor. Her confession spilled. A roommate love, tender and taboo, sacrificed for the ring and the house on Maple. Dad's face crumpled. Not anger but echo. His own high school crush on the farmhand, buried under bootstraps and Bible study. Lily, our pint-sized diplomat, defused with 11-year-old wisdom. Next morning, she marched into breakfast, Champ trailing with a wagging indictment. Dad, guess what? Champ's in love with Mr. Jenkins' collie and that stray tomcat down the block. Does that make him bad? Dad choked on coffee, sputtering as Lily grinned impish. See? Love's love. Now fund Jace's surgery so he can teach Champ to fetch footballs. The table dissolved in reluctant chuckles. Mine watery, Mom's relieved, and for a beat, the air lightened, like dawn-piercing fog. But Tyler's shadow loomed darker. Whispers pegged him as the leaker, but motive eluded. Jealousy? Payback for benching him pre-injury? I cornered him after gym. The weight rooms clang a metallic heartbeat. Why, Ty? We were brothers. He dropped the barbell, clang echoing accusation, his face twisting. Not smug, but shattered glass. Brothers? I watched you, Jace. Every snap, every huddle. Thought if I proved it, showed them you're taken, it'd push you my way. Force the choice. His crush hung raw, a mirror to my own hidden pangs. Rain lashed the windows as he deflated. I'm sorry. Screwed everything. I clapped his shoulder, the old rhythm. Fix it. Quit the games. Join life. He nodded, transferring to wrestling next week. His new ring grappling personal demons. Fundraisers surged on that windfall. Tyler's public apology at assembly, mic'd and mortified, sparking donations like dominoes. $2,000 by week's end. Tamales sold out. Car wash gleaming chrome under autumn sun. Hope crested, but family rift festered. Dad unearthed the GoFundMe page. Leo's rainbow flare damming. And exploded. Elder Mr. Hargrove, Ms. S. husband, iron-fisted deacon. In tow for intervention. Living room became Colosseum. Bibles thumped. Leviticus verses hurled like javelins. This lifestyle, it's a choice, boy. Repent or ruin. Leo, summoned by my SOS text, arrived mid-tirade, chin high. Ruin? Try love, sir. It's the only commandment that sticks. Mom's stand-up stole the scene. Her and Arbor Ghost invoked again, voice steel. Enough, Tom. We built this on half-truths. Jace deserves whole. Lily piped up, yeah, and Champ votes yes. Dad sank into his chair, defeated Colossus, muttering, I just wanted you safe. The elder left sputtering. We sat in wreckage, piecing truces over cold tea. Surgery first, Dad conceded gruff. Then, we talk. All of us. Winter gripped Elmwood like a grudge, snow blanketing fields in white surrender. My knees rehab a Sisyphean slog through ice-rimed sidewalks. PT morphed from torture to ritual. Leo's presence turning reps into duets, him narrating my extensions like sports commentary. And Jace powers through, folks, defying gravity and dad bod gravity. Laughter echoed in the empty gym. A bomb against the slushy treks home, where Dad's truck idled longer in the drive. Engines rumble, a prelude to awkward grunts over dinner. Pass the salt became code for I'm trying. His eyes flicking to Leo's empty chair. Uninvited still, but not forbidden. Romance with Leo deepened in stolen winters. Bonfires at the quarry, marshmallows toasting slow as our whispers. Him dreaming murals of queer saints on Wrigley walls. Me plotting nil deals for college queers, turning pigskin into pride flags. One blizzard night, snowdrifts barricading doors, we hunkered in his basement. Aunt upstairs snoring to telenovelas. Blankets fortified a nest. We shared stories by flashlight. His first crush on the bodega boy with the lopsided smile. My locker room what-ifs that never voiced. His kiss that night was snowfall soft, then fervent, hands mapping scars like constellations. You're my north, Jace, he breathed. And in that cocoon, I believed in compasses again. School's thaw brought qualifiers fever. Braced knee at 85%, I earned backup snaps in scrimmages, passes crisp, though sprints still whispered warnings. Tyler's redemption arc steadied the line. From rival to reluctant ally, he blocked whispers with glares, even slipping me protein shakes post-drill. Water under the bridge, Q, he'd mutter, our fist bumps tentative bridges. But Scout's emails chilled. Character concerns noted. Advise clean slate. The scarlet letter lingered. Queerness a smudge on my stat sheet. Family mending frayed then stitched. Mom initiated Truth Tuesdays. Kitchen table confessions over her apple crisp. No judgments. Dad unburdened the mill's shadow. Layoffs looming. His promotion a phantom. And confessed the farmhand. Young Tom's stolen glances across hay bales. A love too wild for the plow. Lily regaled with Champ's escapades. The dog's bisexual romps a family punchline easing edges. See, Dad? Even mutts get it. My turn cracked open the surgery vault. Begging's humiliation. The puppy's arrival like salt in wounds. Dad's I failed you hung heavy. His hug that night, bear tight, the first in years without reservation. Climax thundered sectional night. Dome lights blazing over astroturf seas. Stands swelled. Elmwood faithful in red and gold. Scouts notepads aglow. Dad bought tickets row center. Mom beaming. Lily waving foam fingers. Champ's attendance via stuffed proxy on her lap. Leo claimed the end seat. Aunt's blessing in his pocket. His sketchpad capturing pregame jitters. Halftime deficit. 17-10. RD leaking like a sieve. Coach's breath fogged my faceplate. Spark, Jace. Your call. Adrenaline alchemized fear. I trotted out. Crowds roar a tidal wave. Jeers drowned in cheers. Jace! Jace! Pulsing like heartbeat. First drive. Snap clean. Drop back fluid. Tyler's block sealed the pocket. I scanned. Locked on the slot. Spiral lasered. 20 yards. Chain moving whoop. Defense stiffened, but third and long loomed. Blitz incoming. Tyler's double team faltered. I rolled right, knee igniting firecrackers up my thigh. Pain blurred vision. But Leo's voice pierced from afar. You're enough. Throw it. The ball arced prayer-like. Receiver hauling in for 15. First down fever. Momentum shifted. We punched in on a QB sneak. Me diving over pile. Turf kissing cheek like victory's breath. But hubris bites. Fourth quarter. Up 24-20. 2 minutes left. Their corner shadowed my man. I forced deep, whistle shrilling. Intentional grounding. Knee buckled on the pivot. Pop echoing internal thunder. Sacked, I crumpled, world tunneling to white noise. Trainers swarmed. Leo vaulted rails, ignored by security. His hand finding mine through the scrum. Breathe, amor. You got this. Carted off. I glimpsed Dad's ashen face. Lily's sobs. Mom's prayers whispered frantic. Locker room haze. Doc's verdict. Torn meniscus. Surgery round 2. Stat. Coach knelt, voice gravel. Prou, son. Wins yours. Scouts saw heart. Tyler lingered. My bad on the block. Oh you. But the real anchor. Family flooding in. Dad's grip vice on my shoulder. No more waiting. Union plan covers it all. We're in this, Jace, all the way. Leo hovered. Eyes wet. Lily thrust the stuffed champ. He says he'll fast for fetch rematch. Tears mixed with ice packs. The dome's roar fading to intimate thunder. Recovery redux was fiercer. Winter yielding to mud-season thaw. Surgery slotted pre-spring. Dr. Patel's knife a precision mercy. Leo's vigil. Hospital sketches of me as Achilles. Heel mended by Trojan love. Home post-op. Dad built a ramp off the garage. His hands calloused from mill work, now crafting welcome. No more begging, he said over Jell-O cups. Mom's Truth Tuesdays evolved to game nights. Monopoly boards bargaining forgiveness. Lily's science fair win. Volcano model erupting rainbow lava. Celebrated with Leo's tamales. Champ begging scraps under table. Summer bloomed redemptive. Knee rehab to jogs along the Cuyahoga trails. Leo's Chicago visit a whirlwind. Art Institute wanderings, deep dish debates. His hand in mine on L tracks, unapologetic. Back home, Dad's mill shuttered Rust Belt Requiem, but he pivoted to solar installs, green-collar grit. Change or rust, he quipped, echoing my audible. College letters arrived. Ohio State's offer, scholarship intact, queerness a footnote in my essay on resilience. Leo's acceptance to SAIC sealed our pact. Weekends bridged by greyhounds and calls till dawn. Send-off party on Maple Street. Backyard lantern swaying, grill smoke curling stories. Tyler showed. Awkward tallboy in hand. Congrats, Q. Keep throwing. Handshake solid, bridges burned to beams. Lily gifted a locket. Tiny photo of us four. Me. Leo. Her. Dad. Mom snapping, eternal documentarian. Champ photobombed in frame. Dad raised a toast, voice thick. To Jace, our quarterback, our heart. And to family. Blood, chosen, and the mutts in between. Laughter rippled true. Leo's squeeze under the table, electric anchor. We ended on that rooftop. Not rain-lashed despair, but summer eve clarity. City lights twinkled suburb sprawl. Family photo tucked safe in my pocket. Not crumpled but cherished. Leo beside, curls wind-tossed, his mural dreams sketched on napkins. Human, huh? Messy, but ours. I nodded, knee strong, heart fuller. Betrayal's echo faded to lessen. Neglect to nurture soil. Love in its American patchwork, dramatic, dogged, deeply felt, the truest play. The autumn after college orientation, Elmwood felt smaller. Hoop on the garage straightened by Dad's hands. Maple leaves a kaleidoscope underfoot. Ohio State campus buzzed alien. Lecture halls echoing with poli-sci debates on queer rights post-Obergefell. Dorm mates swapping coming out war stories over ramen. But weekends pulled me homeward. Greyhounds hum a metronome to longing. Leo's calls crackled with excitement. SAIC's figure drawing classes. His hands charcoal smeared, voice husky. Drew you today. Helmet off, heart bare. Distance tested, but trust tempered. Postcards arrived weekly. His sketches of Windy City sunsets signed, You're forever audible. Family evolved in echoes. Dad's solar gig thrived. Panels glinting on rooftops like defiant stars. His truck bed hauling hope instead of regret. Truth Tuesdays morphed monthly. Potlucks now with Leo's aunt via Zoom. Her laughter booming through speakers. One visit, he pulled me aside in the garage, oil-stained envelope in hand. A letter penned deliberate. Read it later, son. Just know the puppy? Distraction from my fears. You deserved the fight, not the fold. Words blurred ink. His hug smelled of sawdust and second chances, the kind America mythologizes in biopics. Lily blossomed fierce, high school freshman. Braces shed for a smile that slayed debates on climate queers. Her science fair volcano now a TEDx teen talk prop. Champ aged graceful, gray muzzle wise, still fetching balls with arthritic joy. He's like us, she said one hike, pup panting at our heels. Loyal through the limps. Leo, visiting for Thanksgiving, sketched the pack. Us five. Mom's addition via turkey carve. Lines fluid as forgiveness. His first exhibit, spring in a Pilsen gallery, titled Fractured Fields. Canvases of turf scars and skyline stitches. One centerpiece. Us on the quarry ledge, knees braced in tandem, title Interception to Intertwine. Opening night, I flew in, suit crisp, heart pounding. Patrons murmured, curators nodding. A Chicago Tribune scribe jotting notes. Dad and Mom made the trek, Lily in tow. His whisper amid the wine glasses. Proud Jace. It's art, like your game. Leo's eyes found mine across the crowd. Toast raised. To the boy who caught my spiral. Years layered gentle. My redshirt freshman season. Back up to starter, but a wild card run in bowls. Scouts re-scouting the comeback kid with character. Leo's murals scaled CTA commissions, then MoMA whispers. We cohabited summers in a Logan Square walk-up, walls alive with our collage. Game balls beside paintbrushes, Champ's paw print, retired to Elmwood, but immortalized, in the corner. Engagements? Not yet. Love's League unhurried. Rings deferred for road wins and residencies. Betrayal's ghost visited rare. Tyler's wedding invite? Wrestler built and happily hitched to a coach's daughter. His note. You showed me how to block low. We attended. Dances awkward but affirming. Dad's health scare. Heart stutter from stress. Rallied us closer. Solar panels on the hospital roof. His joke. Even here, going green. Recovery mirrored mine. Slow lapse. Family spotting. Humanistic close. No tidy bows, but threads woven strong. On our 5th anniversary, not legal but ours, Rooftop Redux, Chicago edition. Skyline aglow. Photo from Lily's locket enlarged on canvas beside us. Rain threatened but held. Leo's hand in mine, knee scars faint maps. From beg to breakthrough, he murmured. I pulled him close, whispers of forever amid the hum. In America's grand, gritty narrative, sports injuries to soul men's, puppies to profound. We found our huddle. Unbreakable, unapologetic, utterly us.